Greetings. On February 22nd, 2026, we are embarking upon the FUBAR working. This is a culmination of several workings that have been going on for a while, but for my own personal self, it's something I've been working on since about 2019 with some friends. And, you know, when you fall down, when you're on the internet, you start to notice certain things that jump out, and you see more and more certain content, and you wonder why the algorithms are feeding it to you and what's going on. And so sometimes you notice upticks and things with certain content, like bananas or oranges or Garfield, Minions. But something that was going on in CMG for a long time was, you know, manifest a half-peeled orange. And this was a game thing. I don't really understand it because it was going on before I showed up. With the CMG group. And I showed up shortly after the whole half-peeled orange thing, and I was just really kind of making jokes about why the orange, what's up with the orange, and why not plums, why not bananas, why can't we explore all the fruits in the bowl? You know, there's a lot of apple symbolism with Discordianism and really basic Christian paradigms, but bananas, right? And so this kind of set me on a path and a journey to learn everything I could about bananas and the historical context, where they come from, how they're grown, how they're harvested, the wars that have been fought. Just, you know, all the way back to, you know, Chiquita Banana, United Fruit Company, East India Trading Company, and, you know, the correlation between, let's say, slave trading, human trafficking, and bananas. And what bananas represent in our grocery stores here in the United States. You know, you walk into a grocery store and you see this big pyramid of cheap, abundant fruit. Yellow, hard to miss. And not to get too off topic, but like, you know, in chaos magic, oftentimes we're using paper to write sigils, and then we burn the paper, and or, you know, you can use all kinds of things to write sigils on. But I started exploring how a banana works with magic, and, you know, something unique happens. The oxidation of, once you start carving on the banana, or you use markers, paint, whatever, you know, whatever you're using is going to affect the skin. And it texturalizes itself over the time as it ripens and deteriorates. And, you know, I thought about, you know, bananas are radioactive. People make jokes about banana phones. There's a lot of things there where perhaps it's a good vehicle to communicate with nature. You know, if trees can scream, why can't a banana? Then, you know, we look into like Muslim culture, which I don't know a whole lot about, and Hindu culture, and it just various world cultures and how bananas are used in their practices. And it just all started lining up for me, really. The more I dove into this banana thing, the more things just made sense. And the more magic I started doing using the banana, the better the results. In that I was kind of taken back in the beginning. It was a little shocked at how it wasn't just the algorithm at this point. You know, there was a massive protest in Sweden in early 19 over, or Poland, I don't remember, over a banana artwork. And they tried to take the banana artwork down, and people protested. They took selfies with bananas. They went all crazy. What fucking bananas? And that was one of the first moments that we were like, whoa. Because it was weird for the art gallery to be like, this is too sexually provocative. We're going to take it down. And then the people came out and protested. And then, I don't know if you guys remember the duct tape banana, which it felt weird coming from where I was coming from, you know, having just started working with banana a whole lot and doing magic. So I felt like it was a nod or like a we see you kind of moment. And I don't know. It's also kind of I took offense to it, to be honest. You know, the duct tape banana against the wall. But I noted it. It was very popular. People were talking about it for sure. Any PR is good PR, right? Anyway, so I don't know if you guys have observed some of the things that have happened, you know, from 2019 to now, or even before that, right? But it seems that we are irking painfully slowly towards justice. And that was the overall underlying intention of the banana wave workings to begin with. It was focused on justice. Hold on.